Okay, welcome to podcast. Oh, shoot. Back here. I think I was gone for some time, but yeah, I think I've been around now, getting into the groove of things. And like we always say, we're here to have conversations that develop our country, that lift the creative industries, that share the stories that Magazambiri Simazimva. And it's always a pleasure to be here on Podcast Malawi. My name is Dennis Imani, as most of the times. And today we've got a very, very special conversation. And this is a special one because it involves what a lot of people do. It involves the creative industries and it involves money. How do our artists make money from their art, their creations? How do Mageza Zaluso benefit from their work? And we'll be breaking it down into details how these things work, what we understand, what we know, what we don't know. Because I'm not sitting today with your usual guests, your artists, but an expert. Shadrick, welcome to Podcast Malawi.
Thank you so much.
Before we go into the conversation, I need to let people know that this podcast episode is proudly brought to the viewers, the listeners, by Copyright Society of Malawi through the Copyright Fund. And as Podcast Malawi, we're part of a project called Malawi Night, which we're going to talk a bit more as we go into this conversation. So thank you so much to Copyright Society of Malawi for making this podcast happen, and Shadrick for actually coming to podcast.
Thank you.
Great. So tell us a little bit. Alhambili, copyright. Ambili, we don't really understand, to be honest. I'm saying this because I've been talking to a lot of guys. I've been talking to a lot of people, laymen, people that create different things, and even my artists, of which kumana kuno ambili, the artist, timonanga tukambaza oyimba. What does the Copyright Society of Malawi do? What's your mandate, and how do you execute your mandate?
All right. Thank you, Dennis. And yeah, indeed, Pamakama misconceptions about what copyright is. Some mistake it with piracy.
Yes.
Copyright is a right granted to a creator for a specific period to authorize use of the work. That's in simple term.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe in Chichewa would say ndi ufulu umene munhu wake amene wapanga produce chinthu cha luso amakhala nawo kuvomereza munthu wina kuti athe kugwiritsa ntchito.
Okay.
Koma ufulu umenewo amakhala nawo kwa nthawi yoyikika. So basically that's what copyright is.
All right.
Yeah, copyright is not copying other people's property. No, but it's the right granted by law to authorize others to use.
Okay.
Yeah, so as Copyright Society of Malawi is parastatal, formed or established by the Copyright Act. Previously was 1989, but now is Copyright Act 2016.
Okay.
Which establishes the society to promote and protect creativity.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a list of our mandates. There are like 6. They're found on Section 5 of the Copyright Act 2016. But basically, we say our mandate is to protect and promote creativity.
Okay.
The interests of those people who produce creative works,
Okay.
be it economic interest or moral interest.
All right.
In brief, I would say that's Copyright Society of Malawi and copyright.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool. Like I said, Woody, I think Malawi we have got an issue or a problem. When you talk about creatives, when you talk about artists, people always just think about musicians. I think it's how we have grown up. Kuti tikati wazaluso nthawi zambiri, it has always been musicians. Who or which categories does the Copyright Act or the body which is the Copyright Society of Malawi take care of? Ndi ngati zaluso ndi art ndi art.
All right. Yeah, indeed. That's the wider understanding out there. Tikamani azaluso ambiri, they'll just look at music. It comes from way back because of what we call collective management system. Collective management system is what COSOMA does, right? Collecting money on behalf of the creatives and give them as royalty. Yeah. So this started in the publishing industry, especially the books. But the music took over. So here in Malawi, you understand that the other industries in the copyright field, the book industry, for example, or the fashion industry, or the music industry, the film industry, is not that well advanced or developed. So by comparison, it's like music is on top. So most of the people think when you talk about copyright or creative, it's music. But Copyright Society of Malawi has 11 associations which are affiliated to it. Yeah. 2 of the associations, they are in the book industry. The others are in the dance, poetry, film production, photography, and so on. This is to say, the mandate of COSOMA goes wider than music. So every creative work that is artistic still falls under copyright, and COSOMA has something to do with it. Sure.
Okay. So let's go into the copyright now. You have said there are more categories into it, and kumalawi kunoku we focus too much on music. I would like to understand from you, do you have people of other fields or categories that are actually registered and they benefit from the Copyright Act, whether in the way they protect their works and the way they also share the right to others to use what they have created for the period of time, like I've said. Why I'm asking this is we always hear, it's always there, kuti musicians amakhandika period kenakake amakatolera ma royalties awo.
Yes.
And it's always published, it's in the papers, and people always talk, oh, we have seen, like this year, we have seen, I think, a lot of people showing us the checks that they got from COSOMA. Oh, now, yeah, music pays. This is how much I got, and there's always a list. But we haven't seen the other industries. I don't know, maybe they're humble. Do you also pay out to the other industries?
I think that's the case, or that's the situation, because of what I mentioned earlier of collective management system. When we say collective management system, is that when there is, say for example, a single user of a creative work, but there are many creatives, many artists. So let's say we have 200 artists, but there's only one user of everything that they do create. So it becomes a challenge for the artist to go to the user individually to license them so that they pay for their work. So that's when COSOMA comes in to get the mandates from the creatives and gives one license to the user, collect the money, and distribute to the creatives as a royalty. But besides that, there are other royalties that the creatives can get.
Okay.
Yeah, which are primary, I must say. I'll give an example of a movie. A movie is possible to go to a broadcaster. If you have a movie, sign an agreement with the broadcaster, you agree on royalties, they pay you direct. So That kind of arrangement won't go in
To
papers
Kosoma.
or whatever, or through
Mm.
Kosoma.
Mm.
But now, if there are more movie creators and everyone wants to work with, for example, a broadcaster like Zodiac,
Mm.
then it's going to be very challenging for Zodiac to keep on dealing with every
Everyone.
one of them. Then Kosoma comes in and use a methodology what we call collective management system. So there are other creative sectors or creative streams, I must say. For example, the paintings.
Yes.
If someone does a painting, he will sell it. It's in the category what we call resale right.
Okay.
You will sell it direct to a
To a
customer.
customer.
So customer won't be
Involved
in that. There's an industry, book industry. The authors sign agreement with the publisher. The publisher publishes the books and sell them. That process can work without the intervention of Kosoma. But now, if you look at the music industry, the way it is, like I must say, we have like close to 9,000 artists
Artists. Yeah.
registered with Kosoma. So if all these artists go to Zodiac, Zodiac will close down because they will spend the whole year discussing the contracts with the artists. So that's why most of the work of Kosoma is seen, because the work that is involved with the collective management or the larger population of the creatives is always in the public domain. But there is more work and a lot of things that Kosoma do that doesn't go in the public domain, but we still do assist or work with the creatives. But the work doesn't go in the public domain.
Okay.
Sure.
Can you share some of those things that you do? Because I think for me now, it's actually the first time I'm understanding why Kosoma comes into the licensing of music. Because at first I was always with okay, ineyo ndabanga chinthu changa wina akakugwiritsa ntchito. If I sell it direct to them, Kosoma doesn't come in.
Yes.
Why does it go to my broadcasters? Now it makes sense. It's because broadcasters cannot deal the RDSA. I mean, I'm a user their work.
Yes.
And musicians is one of them.
Yeah.
If we have, let's say, more TVs playing, let's say, Malawian movies,
Yes.
like in a year we have got, let's say, 1,000 movies that are being played on TV. Kosoma would probably come in to say, okay, but Vanova would have movie again, they will go straight to Zodiac. Okay, they have their agreement.
Sure.
Apart from that, what else do you do as Kosoma?
Okay. As I said, what goes to the limelight or to the public mostly is about money. But there's a lot of work that we do at Kosoma. We have some people, engineers, who have registered their designs with Kosoma. We provide evidence to them where necessary.
Okay.
Because they have to produce some work, sometimes where they have to declare that indeed they did produce that work and all the information. They do register with Kosoma, and we do provide assistance when they require. I've talked about the resale right. Those people, those creatives who do the drawings, the artworks, whatever. The law is clear. When they sell the products, for example, to a museum or to art gallery, it doesn't mean that they have sold everything. So the art gallery might also sell the same to others.
Yes.
So that art gallery needs to pay. So if this information, the art was first registered with Kosoma, Kosoma then works to make sure that this creator keep on getting the percentage from the resales of those products. That's in the sector of resale.
Okay.
Yeah. Books, same. The book industry, they say, is a contract industry. Kosoma do vets the contract because everything has to be within the law. So we also vet contracts for the book publishers. And I must say, for everyone who is in the creative industry, That's also part of our work, because we would like to protect their interest. It's not only about collecting money and giving money to people, no, but there's a lot more that we can do for creatives, even the musicians. Most of the musicians, like nowadays, they're going outside the country.
Yeah.
There are very few who consult corporate society
Before they leave.
Because when they go there, they make performances. Those performances are supposed to be licensed, and the money should come back
to
here so that they can collect the money. But I can show you, there are other artists who have gone abroad, did the right thing. Up to today, they get updates of their works. They get money for that. So that's just part of the work that we do at Corporate Society of Malawi. But we can even do more depending on the needs of each and every creative. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe I also have to mention that we do conduct trainings for the creatives who are members of the society. Like of late, just a month ago, we did a training, monetization in the digital platforms.
Yes.
This is a problem that most of our artists are failing to comply.
Exactly.
You see the movies, you say they are not up to the standard. The music, you go on internet, you just find an audio file, something like that, or you just find a name and a file. Those things cannot be traced on the internet. But with the assistance from South Africa, an organization called Capasso, we were able to do a workshop on the same and try to teach our members, most especially the urban artists, on how they can utilize the digital platforms to monetize their creatives. And the same can be duplicated to other categories of the creatives other than the music side.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool. Like I've said that there are artists who go outside. I was just thinking because I've had conversations on this podcast with several people, and one that comes to my mind is Q Malewezi. Q was in the UK for some time. That's where he studied. He studied and he started working there. He was producing for different artists there. And he said when he came back, he started doing other things locally, but he would still get calls from Kosoma to say, "Oh, can you come? There's your money that has been sent from the UK for the work that you did for so and so and so and so."
Exactly.
And that tells me that I think most creatives are not really looking into the details of what they do when they go out. For example, if somebody goes out today to perform, a musical artist has a show in South Africa, in Zambia, in the UK, and somebody has recorded that performance and they are using it, let's say for their TV or whatever, for monetary gains in the UK. What you're saying is this person who actually performed was entitled to the revenue that that performance is getting in the UK, right?
Exactly.
And most of them don't get that because it's not licensed anyway.
Yes, most of the artists, I tell you, the processes are so simple.
Okay.
But most of our local artists, they don't follow the right thing. Sorry to say this, but most of the artists, they just look at, let's say, artist A has received money. They don't know what has happened behind or how that artist reached that point of receiving the money. So in the end, they will just come to Kosoma and say, okay, I'm also a big artist. I deserve a share. Yes. I deserve these monies. But without knowing what really happens. For example, an artist might be well known in the country. Yes. But it doesn't even care or know about Kosoma. Goes to South Africa, perform. Somebody records, or the company there records and broadcast it. Then he will come back to Kosoma and say, okay, I had a performance, I want my money. It doesn't work like that. You see, this artist, his songs are not even registered.
Yeah.
They are not registered. We can't prove that the songs are his, for example. The songs are in the digital platforms, but they don't have the necessary fingerprints, the necessary metadata
that attach them to the owner.
Yes, they don't have those things. So when such kind of performances are used elsewhere, even as a society, we can't prove it. We can't prove it. So if they do the right thing right from the beginning, everything goes smoothly. That's why artists or creatives like Q Malewezi have been able to get their monies. Artists like Faith Musa are able to get their money from elsewhere in the world because they did the right thing from the beginning. So if an artist know that I have a platform in the international scene, they need to learn to do the right thing. If they do that, then the outcome is going to be fine. But working from the top to bottom, say I went to UK,
Then
I
need
had
to
this
come-
contract, so nobody knows. Then they come here and say, I want my money. Even as Kosoma, we don't even know where to start from to trace everything. Sure.
Okay.
So they really need to start doing the right things.
From the onset when
Yes.
they're because I had a conversation throughout the week with several artists, and my question was simple. I would go to an artist who I know they've had a big song for the past years and then ask them, how much money did you make in royalties from this song? And the answer is, some told me, oh no, I made so much. I'm like, oh, okay. And some said nothing. So I was like, why did you not make any money from there? So one of them said, I went to Kosoma because this person was based in the UK. And they said he actually recorded. She recorded the song while she was in the UK. It was big in Malawi, and then she relocated to Malawi, and she realized that her song was big, and I think she came to Kosoma and found out that there was no royalties. I think in Nairobi, Mageza Gulenda my royalties. I was like, my song is big, and came to Kosoma, but she didn't get any royalties. She didn't find anything. So in Mount Fosagudi, why did you not get your royalties? So she sent me a screenshot. It's like, this is what they told me. So I was like, did you register the song? She's like, no, I did not register it. So I was like, okay. So why did you think you would go to Kosoma and get money? She said, because my song was big and I thought they were paying to people that had been playing their songs. When does a song need to be registered with Kosoma?
Okay. A song needs to be registered with Kosoma before even it's released, before it goes into the public. And I can tell you and assure you, there are some clever artists that are doing this.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you have the song, once you have it, not even a master or whatever, because we don't require those. We just require the song that we should be able to see, okay, this is what you expressed in the song. You register it. You do the necessary things. Then you release the song. So that the songs are traced from the beginning. One thing that the artists, they also need to know is that every song has its life. So when you release it, that's when it
actually blows
or something. You miss that, then you miss a lot of airplay tracking or whatever. And one other thing is that, like for example, the issue of the artist that you talked to, maybe she came to check the royalties, but because the royalties are different, it could be possible the song was very big in public performances, but the distribution that was being done that time, it was for ringtones. So there is no way, even if the song is traced, she could get the royalties from ringtones because her song is not on ringtones. So there are also a lot of types of royalties. So every artist must have keen interest to learn and know every detail of the industry. When it comes to Kosoma, every detail of Kosoma, how does it work? When you say royalty, what is a royalty? Where do you guys take this money? Because as of now, even other people just think Kosoma has a basket of money. Then gives
that's what artists discuss there. You guys have a lot of money, and you sit down in your office, and then you decide, okay, so
let's
guys,
give this one.
Who and who?
This is not possible. It's not doable.
Faith Musa, Lulu.
It's not doable.
No,
it's not doable. It's not doable to do that.
Okay.
When we distribute monies, we distribute the royalties to like 2,000 artists. Some have come forward and say, no, we don't have 2,000 creatives in Malawi. You say, what?
Okay.
Had you known? Come and see our database.
Mm.
Because you don't know someone doesn't mean they don't
They
exist.
don't exist, exactly.
They are better and good artists who maybe you don't even hear them on Made on Monday or on a program which you think you like. But there are other creatives whose work are being used in the radio station.
And they're actually getting royalties.
They're getting the royalties.
Now, let's go into that.
Sure.
Types of royalties that you guys give out as creatives. What are the types of royalties that you give out? The ones that we can talk about. On top of my head, I know there's the public performance royalties. You correct me if I'm wrong. This is the one that artists get because their music or their work has been publicly used in places where there's monetary value that it brings. So it could be, let's say, in a bar.
Yeah.
The music that is played in a bar, there's a license that you guys give to the bar owners because they play music in there.
Yeah.
And kama kumvera nyimbo zija kunjoya kumagula ma drinks for kumagoma nyimbo zakuti. So whatever the songs are played there, they need to be compensated for.
Yep.
It could be in a we've got bars, we've got lodges or malls, city malls, like malls. We've got radio malls where they play music publicly.
Yeah, entertainment
venues, yes. Yep. And there's another one that's called the blank levy.
Yep.
Blank levy, I'll need your explanation on how that one works.
Okay.
And you have talked about we've got the radio airplay.
Yep.
Is radio airplay part of public performances or it's a different one?
No, it's a different one. It's called broadcasting.
Broadcasting. Yeah. Okay. So let's get into the blank levy and the broadcast. Then you tell us other ones that you also know that are in existence.
Okay. Blank media levy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an alternative name. The proper name in the Copyright Act is called private copying levy.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think the public better uses it as a blank media levy.
Yeah.
Yes. The blank media levy is a provision in the Copyright Act to collect funds or a levy levied on devices which have the capacity to copy, store, or replicate creative works.
Okay.
I'll give an example of a computer.
Yeah.
Computer is not made to be playing music. That's not its purpose.
No.
But it has a capacity to copy, to store, and replicate music. A photocopier is not made to be copying books only, but it does copy books. A camera can store, can copy, can replicate. So the levy is charged on all storage devices or all devices that have these capabilities. So I won't go into the technical ways how this is implemented. That could be a story for another day.
Okay.
Yeah. But COSOMA works with the Malawi Revenue Authority to collect the levy from these devices.
Okay.
Then the money is collected from those devices is submitted to the government and to COSOMA.
Okay.
Now, these monies are the ones we do distribute to creatives as a compensation. This is the word that we always say. It is a compensation for a possible loss of income.
Okay. At what point do you collect this money? Where? Because I've got a phone. I've had this phone for 3 years now, probably.
Yes.
Or a year.
Yeah.
And it stores music. Somehow it can replicate music, probably.
Yep.
Because there's a memory card there that I can get another one, put in there, and transfer music there.
You can send on WhatsApp.
To
10 people.
To 10 people.
Yep.
That means one song now goes to 10 people.
Yep.
I'm using it for a year now or plus. when do I pay for that music as a blank media?
Okay. The ones who pay for the levy are the ones who import the funds,
Okay.
not you as the user. Whether they put a markup when they sell you, it means the fund has paid once off.
Mhm.
So the importers or the manufacturers of these devices, they are the ones who pay for the levy.
Okay.
Yeah. And once it's paid, as I said, it's a compensation. It is assumed that you will use the phone in some instances to replicate
Get other people's
other
work.
people's copyrighted works. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's how the system works. How it works, because we are in the digital
Yeah.
era.
Mm.
Yeah. Just like the CDs. Yeah. You get the CDs. There's a possibility that you will use the CDs to copy somebody's work, creative work. So when you import them, you pay a tax, a levy, which is going to be distributed
Okay.
to the creators.
And how does that distribution work?
Okay. There is a law, what we call regulations. Below the copyright law, there are regulations which provide the nitty-gritties on how various things should be done. So there are regulations for private copy levy, which states that, as the survey, when it was done in 2018, that most of the copied creative works, it's music.
Okay.
Yeah. Seconded by, would say, books and what we call audiovisual.
Audiovisual, yeah.
Yes. Films and music videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are percentages which are allocated to these three categories. All right. So I'll cite an example of music. Let's say 30% goes to music. 30% of the monies that have been collected, it goes to music. Then that 30% will become 100%
To the music
to the
industry.
music industry.
Okay.
Then that 100% is going to be distributed to the works that have been copied.
Okay.
So how do we know
Yes.
that this has been copied?
Copied, yes.
Okay. So as I said, this whole system is a compensatory system. Okay. It's just like disaster. We have had a disaster in the country, in the southern part, and we are receiving donations from outside or elsewhere. Where are the donations going? They're going to the
disaster-prone areas.
Yes. We are in the central region. We have not been affected. We are not getting anything from those monies. That's how the same thing, how this thing works. So one thing that I also have to mention is that when we're talking of royalties, the royalties come from Section 29 of the Copyright Act.
Okay.
That's where there are economic rights. So COSOMA work around the economic rights to make sure that we generate money. And one of the area or one of the economic right is called a reproduction right. If you create a work, you can license me that I should reproduce it and sell it to many people. It's called a reproduction right. So all these devices which we have mentioned, those which have capability to copy, store, and replicate, what they do is reproduction. There's nothing like broadcasting. So this process trickle down to what really happens on the ground. So we have broadcasting, we have reproduction, whatever. So COSOMA, we have set the ways or the channels or the streams where the creative works are reproduced.
Okay.
For example, if a song is on ringtone, I download and make it my ringtone. Somebody download it and make it their ringtone. What is happening is that the song is being replicated.
Yeah.
So we have agreements with the telecom companies. They give us reports. They have an obligation. They give us reports on the songs which have been replicated as ringtones.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, in Malawi, people are downloading music
Yes.
in a local way. Okay, downloading music from websites, mostly happens in the urban or the cities.
Yes.
But if you go on the ground, what people are doing is they go to a shop. Can you put music or
in this
films in this memory
memory
card or
card.
in my phone? That is also same as downloading.
Yes.
Because what is happening is the one who has that shop has one song, but is lubricating it by giving it to different people.
50 people in a day.
Exactly. So what we have done, because these people, they also get licenses from Kosoma. Not all of them. It's a disclaimer. Not all of them.
All right.
But most of them, they do. So we put them together. They have associations. They have leadership. These people under the license that we do give them, they also have obligation to report the sales. So these sales reports, they form part of the larger system, larger data bank that we have, which informs or which is processed in the distribution system to give out or to compensate the artist. So if a song by artist A has been covered in Salima, has been covered in Nchinji, in Isante, in Palombe, in Nchinji, in Kalonga, it will come with the frequencies. And those frequencies will get points in our system. Then proportionally, the monies is going to be distributed based on the points that they have scored from all data sources. I've just mentioned two, from the what we call soft copy operators and from the ringtones. And there are many sources of data that converge together to form the distribution of, or the composition of the levy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a process, a big one.
Modi, you don't just wake up and sit in the office and say, list that rules an
it's not possible. You ask me today, I can't even mention the names of 20 artists. It's not possible. I can't. So even the artists, because what the public see or the artists see is the name. But in our system, we don't see the names of artists. We see the works. When we are processing the data, you cannot actually know this one you can't. So all you have to see is the title of the song and the artist. So if a song is Ndima Kugonda by artist A and it has one frequency or two frequencies, what the system will allow me is to input the work with the corresponding name and the frequency. It's done. Then I'll go to the next work. At the very end of all the data, whether it's 20,000 lines or 200,000 lines, is being processed. Then the amount, the figures are being inputted. The system will calculate and everything. Then we'll see in the end how the system has worked. That will have to go through the process of quality assurance and audit to make sure that there hasn't been any fraud or whatever. And then the outcome will go to the public to say, okay, this artist made this so much money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, this is eye-opening, because seriously, I never knew how this works, and I'm sure like everybody who's listening now, they can actually now see how these things work, because when people speak out there, you sometimes wonder like, okay, okay, have you sat down to understand how the distribution is done and what loyalties are being distributed? Let's go to broadcast.
Yeah.
When it comes to broadcast, how do you distribute, and how do you know which artists are being played? What's the formula like?
Okay. We still use the same system. Now, what differs is the data source. The data source will come directly from the radio station. Okay. Because we license the radio stations or the TV stations, they also have an obligation to provide the data of the works that they have used. Previously, there were manual forms which they were used to fill.
We used to call them
log sheets.
Log sheets, yes.
Yeah. Now we have electronic log sheets. We have a system at Kosoma whereby it tracks the airplay. Okay. So when the song is played, then it matches with it matches with the system, and it registers the name, the title of the song, and the minutes and seconds which it has played, the date when it was played.
Okay.
Then that in a period like every month, we generate reports, and those reports are loaded in the distribution system. So basically, that's what forms part of the distribution.
You have talked about how you monitor digitally now on the radio airplays and whatnot.
Mhm.
And when it comes to distribution, do you use the same way as the blank media rave or the other distributions?
Yeah, the distribution, the processes are the same. As I said earlier on, what differs is the data source.
Okay.
That's what makes it to say this is broadcasting, this is public performance, this is ringtones, this is what. What differs is the data source.
Okay.
Yeah, but the formulas and everything for distribution are the same. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
When you sit in your office and you look at the artists that are out here, are you convinced that a lot of artists, this is not just music now, but even from the other fields, are making use of the Copyright Act that is in place right now in Malawi?
Yes, I would say that, but not to the maximum, or not to the level that we would expect.
Okay.
Maybe I should give out the secret,
Yeah.
which most of the creatives they don't know. More money is in the branding, not in the actual works, right? Today, if I start maybe writing books, I'll sell the books. Yes, I'll get royalties from the book. But if I brand myself, I will get more big deals, more money, more than what I could make selling my work. Music, the same. Industries from abroad, which we can learn from, because South Africa, whether Nigeria, the way it's doing now, they are doing more branding than the actual selling of the music. You see, I will ask you, how many people in Malawi have bought the song, for example, from Rema? Come down. You see, maybe there won't be even one person who has bought it.
Yeah.
Everyone has gotten it from free sites.
Yeah.
But that guy is getting more bookings, is signing a lot of deals. Why? Because the record label has branded him, has branded the music. So it's more, they're making more money in the branding than the actual sales. So they don't even care much if people get the songs for free. Because if they give out the songs for free,
it actually just increases their brand.
That's what we need in Malawi. There should be more branding of the songs.
Yeah.
Of the songs, of the artists. Yeah. So that they make more monies from the deals and not actually from the sales. Because I tell you, there are very few artists nowadays who are making money through sales. That's why every artist, the eye is on Kosoma.
Because that's where they think the money will come from.
Yes, but I tell you, we have given out more money, yes, through the blank media levy. But there is more money, more than that, in the branding.
Okay.
All they have to do is find time, come to our office. What can I do? How can I do these things? We give free advice.
Are you guys open for people to come there, have a conversation with you and learn?
I'll give you an example. Do you know that our CEO is even on the WhatsApp forum for musicians?
Okay.
She even responds to people, to inquiries on a WhatsApp forum.
Wow.
How much open do you want us to be if the CEO is able to do that?
Yeah.
Right? You sometimes when she's available, you don't even need an appointment to see her. The technical people, those people who are experts in different fields, they are there sitting in the office doing the work. We have a walk-in policy. You walk in, you get assisted, you go. But because in the industry, sometimes most of the people are celebrities, they can't come to the office.
They want you to actually come to them like
when they stumble,
yeah,
that's when you hear them on Facebook. You hear them on radio or in newspaper. They say, no, Kosoma is stealing from us. You ask them a question, they don't know anything. Because they don't want to learn what is in the industry. They want to learn what is in the UK before knowing what is in Malawi.
There in their own country.
Exactly.
No, I'll give you an example because before this interview, I've been asking people. I've seen posts on Facebook. I've seen posts on Twitter and whatnot. And actually, that's why we were interested in covering this issue of copyright. Because people have been crying. People have been saying things. And I asked in several groups for creatives, say, if you have any issue in regards to copyright, you think you haven't been compensated rightly or you haven't even been compensated for the works that you think deserved to be compensated and you want to speak, can we talk? Because I'm opening up this podcast so we can hear your stories and find out from you what it did not go right or what went wrong and all that. Do you know how many people came forward? No one.
Exactly.
So I was shocked because when people talk, when they discuss, it's always like people are failing maybe to get to you guys. That's why I was like, no, I'm going to get Shadrick, come with him, Ababa. So I understand to find out what are the challenges, because it looks like these artists are protecting Jina Jake.
No. I think next time, get one of those artists. We should have a dialogue.
They should sit there. You sit here and have a conversation, I think.
Okay. One thing that the public or the creatives also have to know, that there are two sides of the coin. Right? We as Kosoma, we mostly deal with the low side of it. Okay?
Yeah.
We do implement the law.
The law, yes.
But these artists are business people. So there has to be a way whereby we meet. So that business and the law
move together.
They will move together so that everyone achieve what they have to achieve.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if someone say produce music today, they don't know the law, they say, I want money. They don't even know how to set a price for their work. They don't even know that. So we need to come in to say, hey, what you have produced, this is what it is involved. This is what you need to do to get maximum compensation of your work. This is what we're lacking in the industry. But there are others who are doing this. But most of them, they are not.
Okay.
Yeah, because everyone is a creative nowadays. Everyone can
they're creating something.
Today in this studio,
here,
we can create a song and it becomes a hit.
No, even this conversation.
Exactly.
Somebody would want to use it on their TV, everywhere. Exactly. If we finish this conversation, because this is like a very profound conversation.
Exactly.
And TV would say, no, hey, we want to put that. We like what you're discussing. It's bringing them monetary value. And I got my advert, but TV, So
now the question is how do
we now move to say use content to dividend?
If the Zodiac get this thing and put on the on TV, we don't have to run to Kosoma to say no, I want 20 million. No. No, that's not how it works. You have to be smart about it. Know the low side of it. Okay, what has happened here? How can I benefit? That's how it works.
Okay,
it's a contract industry. If you don't know how things are done, get someone who can understand better, seek guidance, see how much you can make.
There's a story that I read. I don't know if it's early this year. It should be early this year. I read a story of, I'm not going to mention names, but these guys that did the movie a few years ago, and I think they thought they deserved royalties from there. And they came to Kosoma, and I think there was a bit of trouble there that one was arrested because I read it was in the papers. What was the issue? And if you were to use that an example to people that are making movies right now, because they might come back tomorrow or the other year to say, hey, movie Atujena blower. What was the issue, and what could be your advice to people that are making movies to avoid that scenario?
Okay, the movie industry is also a contract industry. when I write a movie, I engage people to act in my movie, to direct, to do photography, whatever, the
Produce,
lighting.
makeup.
I need to have a contract with each and every one of them.
Mm.
There are others, I just need to pay them off, but
And then it ends there.
with a contract.
Mm.
But others, they are creative directors whom they should own some bit of right in the movie. Okay? Because basically, like in the developed world, the movies are done by studios, big studios.
Yeah.
So they know all these things. But here in Malawi, I write a movie, I produce myself, I hold the camera,
lighting,
I also act in the
act
movie.
in the movie.
So it's very difficult to separate the roles. But it is doable, it's possible.
Mm.
Yeah. So what happens is that the way people are creating movies in the country, they are like doing everything by themselves. There are no contracts, whatever. Now, with the coming of the blank media levy, they think everyone deserves it.
Mm.
But I tell you, every royalty, every compensation, there has to be evidence of use.
Mm.
Not that you sold the movie to 2-3 people only. That cannot substantiate the matter.
Mm.
There really has to be hard evidence. And it's not the role of the one creating it. It's the role of Kosoma to get the evidence. So these movie creators, all they need to know is how do these systems work? How does it work for me to get a royalty? Right? It's not like because you have created a movie, then you deserve a royalty. You know, it doesn't work like that. Or we could tell the industry, the movie industry people, is that they should do things the right way. Mm-hmm. The quality assurance, do the right thing. Then all things will be well. And the doors of Kosoma are wide open for them to come to say, how can we work together? You know, there's this thing of saying my movie or my poem or whatever has blown. Who told you?
Yeah.
No, you can't be the judge.
Yeah.
It's not possible. You can't. Like at Kosoma, we don't accept that. Mm. You can't be a creative and say, no, the movie has done well. So who says that? Mm. Okay. We will see that the movie has done well through the statistics. Systems and statistics. You won't even have to open your mouth and say it. No. We have the means of saying, really, this work has done well.
Okay.
Yeah. And it won't be a person at Kosoma, not even myself.
But the systems that are in place.
The systems that are in place will say this has done well.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Sure.
Shadi, thank you so much. This is just the beginning of our conversations on these copyright matters on Podcast Malawi. And for those that have been watching this conversation, like I said at the beginning, this is part of a bigger project called Malawi Nights. And just to tell you, maybe you don't even know what Malawi Nights is. Malawi Nights is actually a project that we are running in partnership with Koala Creatives and in-house media and also Podcast Malawi. Okay. What we do is we go out at night. That's why it's called Malawi Night. We take over a club. When we take over a club, we go there with our DJs. We go there with our activities. And we play strictly Malawi music. And we promote Malawian productions. We promote Malawian products. So we have got all these Malawian things that we would enjoy on a night out, whether it's food, whether it's drinks, whether it's whatever is made in Malawi by Malawians to just promote the Malawian brand. And we got assistance from the Copyright Fund, which is administered by Copyright Society of Malawi, to use this platform to promote Malawian creatives. And part of it is these conversations where people that create different things should also know when they create these things, how do they protect them and how do they give the right to other people to use them? So during Malawi Night, we have things like games, Malawian games that people have created. Some of them we have grown up with them. We go there to remind each other how we used to have fun under the moonlight as kids. Can we still do that in a club at night outside? And that's what we've been doing. And in our next episode, we'll be now looking into some of the things that we do at Malawi Night. Why is playing more local content important to our creatives than when we import everything when it comes to monetization of their creations? Why is it important to enjoy more of Malawian products, whether it's drinks, food, games that our own Malawians have created and all that? So we'll look at that from the copyright angle on how the creators of these things can benefit from more places, more avenues, utilizing Malawian things, and how Kosoma now is able to collect, compensate for what they have created because they have actually been used and there's proof of use. So in our next episode with our guests, of which we might want to bring in artists and everyone else, we'll be talking more of the Copyright Act when it comes to public play or display of copyrighted matters or products. Thank you so much, Shadrick, for this first part series of Copyright Fund Malawi Night Podcast Malawi Special Edition.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to another conversation with you, and we'll have more of this.
You're welcome.
For everybody tuned in, my name is Dennis, and this is Podcast Malawi. Make sure you subscribe, comment, tag your favorite creator or artist so that they know what their rights are when it comes to all issues copyright. From me and the podcast team of Mr. Luke and all the team that works behind the scenes, we say peace, protect your work, and know your copyrights. Until next time, peace. So, take your time, always.
R.I.P. to a young soul that we.
There we go. Hey. One. Yeah! 1, 2, Ubuso. 1, 2, Aboso. 1, 2, Abo. 1, 2. This is Techno 90 Spark.
Okay, my specs wezi.
My specs wezi. Techno meaning the 32 MP. Camera meaning a clear selfie. In the 5000 AMH battery. Meaning you the uri and pagana e.
Remember that this is matter wiga.
You don't say because of it question in the Vincent Latin. This is Kumtengo. He's gonna do justice and honor to our fallen brother, respecting the soul of Wally Chris. May his soul rest in peace. Let me hand over the microphone to Kumtengo. Thanks to all the partners, NPS Bank. Ikukawa bengini, but ingini ambili ndiyo NPS Bank ikawe. Tindi Techno, thank you so much for coming through. Chibuku shake more, we know you know Malawi guys.